back to Ultrasign and more music. Robert, you have something for us, and say something about it.
Yeah, Rivers of Nihil, I think they are pronounced. American technical melodic death metal, basically. We are talking really complex guitar riffs and instruments with way too many strings on them. But this band...
A harp.
You're not that far off, really.
Okay.
They have released their fourth album just a few weeks ago, but it was with their third album that they really started to gain some attention.
Okay.
And it's a really interesting composition of members, which you are going to see in the video. But the entire history of the band is just one whole. I really want to know how they became what they became and how they got there, because their lead vocalist is partly famous because he is almost entirely deaf, which is kind of interesting for a metal vocalist.
Yeah, indeed.
So he has talked a lot about how it is to be a musician when he basically can't hear anything. The answer to that is he can hear low frequency, so he can hear bass. So that is how he learns to sing the different songs, is that he basically just remembers how the bass feels. Yeah, it's a really interesting band, and I want to know what you feel about them, especially since this is the first song I've heard with them a few years ago, which has one of my favorite, let's call it instrument solos. Yeah.
And does this song have something to do about his not hearing thing? I thinking about the title is The Silent Life, and many deaf people say about how.
He talked in a podcast quite recently that the entire album is a bit about his internal struggles in some sort, and I guess that his disability is a really big part of that. So yeah.
Okay, cool. We just listen, I think, and Woof.
Wow.
Cool stuff. No harp, but a saxophone. Yeah. Very nice sounding. Wow. I have to... what do you call it? Samba, say. I don't know how you translate it. But, begin. Andreas, do you have something?
Yeah, a lot, actually. This was amazing. As you say, instruments with too many strings on them, but these guys can play. And it's just, I love this stuff. It takes me back to when I did the sound on Getaway Rock Festival on the inside stage, where it was like progressive and death metal bands. So I just loved it. I mean, every band was just great from around the world, and it's just something about it. I always did like it. Do you remember the band Dismember from Stockholm?
Yeah.
So I did their live sound. This was 1989 for a short period of time, and that's when I really started to like it. I didn't like the blood and shit they had on stage, but because they had the real deal, which was kind of disgusting. Now it's theater blood, but that's okay. But it's not great when you work with sound. All the cables, everything is covered in blood, but that's another story. This was just great, and then when it just completely changed, and the saxophone,
That was fantastic.
Yeah, it was like
over the top, over the notch, top, good, you know.
Genius. I mean, how?
Why? It make me thought, why don't more metal band have saxophones? Because it sounded perfect together.
Yes.
You know, I'm listening to a lot of prog, and you know, a flute or a violin and stuff. It's normal, but this was something else.
And it's just a breakdown, and it's a saxophone, and still it doesn't feel strange. Unusual, but it was like it made sense. It was great, and then the saxophone stays when the band is full on back again, and it just, I'm like, wow, I never heard that before. I think in this music.
No, it's quite uncommon in this type of music, at least.
Yeah. Well, Robert, you played Brass Against a while ago, so you know. Well, if you like this, we're gonna listen to more like this in the future, I think.
And the band Oxbow that I played had a whole brass orchestra behind them. But totally works.
That's more normal to have a lot of orchestras, but just this one guy, you know, and one saxophone, and it sounded like it just fitted together perfect, and
and
I love it.
Because on paper that sounds like the most stupid idea ever, maybe. But it was just, I was just, what's going on? And it was great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, and he's not a full-time member of the band, but he totally tours with them. So.
Yeah, he tours, and he does when they record stuff, I think, or something. But still, it's very unique way to make a great sound even better. And the singing was very good too. You know, when you talk about he was almost deaf, and you know, you listen to about how the tunes, how it hit the notes and stuff. But I didn't hear any weird anything that wasn't.
No, that was great.
Perfect, or was it exact on the note?
I've listened to them since 2018, and I figured out just a few days ago when I heard that podcast that he had a hearing disability. Okay. But it totally makes sense. I actually followed with the lyrics now, and it's 100% more obvious when you have that in mind, that there must be some really internal struggling going on if you have found out what you want to do with your life, but you have a disability or a disease or something that totally puts an expiration date on not only your career, but yourself in a way, which makes it, this song actually got a whole another meaning to me now when I realize that it's obviously about his life in a way that he's not going to be able to do this forever.
Yeah. And that's too bad. Because he sounded great, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I really like this. And once again, Robert, you have hit me with something I didn't know about. I recognize the name, but that's all. And that's going right to my playlist. Like some bands you like Brass Against, and like, what was it? One band I listen to all the time now. Oh, they just released a new album, Spirit Box. You know, and it's just fantastic that you give me this kind of music of you too. But well, it makes me so happy that we do this channel because there's so much music out there that I haven't heard about, and finding it in this way.
Yeah, it's a treasure.
Yeah, and thank you, and I hope everyone else enjoyed it too.
Thank you.
See ya.